What's going on YouTube? Griff Lawn and Landscape back here, and today in this video we are going to show you guys a dethatching that we did of a residential yard. And I'm going to kind of explain a few things about dethatching. One of the things is when you say dethatching, you're obviously getting up all the thatch from the yard. Well, the thatch is the layer of debris, dead grass, other organic matter that's in the grass blades and on top of the soil surface, and you want to get that up every few years just so your yard can get a lot of nutrients and everything it needs without having to go through a very dense layer of thatch. So this is recommended every few years to do. You do want some thatch on your yard, but not as much as this yard. And that brings me to when you should dethatch. So there are different times when to dethatch, depending on if you're a cool season or warm season grass. Cool season, you should do it early spring or early fall, and warm season you should do it probably in the late spring through summer, when the grass is growing and it's strong and healthy. So one of the first things you have to figure out is what you're going to use to dethatch. What we use as a company is a walk-behind gas-powered dethatcher or power rake, whatever you want to call it. There are a couple different options you can use. You can use a dethatching rake or a regular rake. Obviously, both of those options are pretty physically demanding, and in our case, not too smart because we charge so much per dethatch and we have to be efficient, and we can't sit at these houses for 3 hours raking it, two guys, and it just wouldn't be smart. You also need to know how you're going to pick it all up. You can rake it up on a tarp or in bags and haul it away. What we usually do is dethatch it, kind of blow it around, and then use a mower with a bagger on it. Bag it like that. I probably go over the yards 2 or 3 times just to ensure that I pick up as much thatch as I can. No matter what method you use, you're not going to pick up 100% of the thatch. Rake or bagger or blower, you're not going to do it. But you want to try to get as much as you can up. So we offer dethatching to all our customers, and we have a handful that do it every couple years, 3 to 5 years that do it. And there's a big misunderstanding that I get from customers saying, well, I aerated, do I still need to dethatch? And what most people don't understand is they're obviously two different things. People think they do the same thing. But dethatching will remove excess debris and promote healthy root development, while aerating is best done when there's a lot of compaction and pulling plugs, or you can spike aerate. So there is a big difference, and you can definitely tell in the yards if you dethatch every couple years and aerate, or if you only aerate. You can tell a big difference. When we talk about this service to different customers, a lot of them want to know a benefit to it, what it does, how it stands up to aeration. So here are a few pros of getting your yard dethatched. One, it ensures healthy root growth in your grass. Kind of rips up all that dead stuff and all the stuff that's not rooting really good. It promotes draining. It ensures that your yard is getting good and proper nutrients. Again, you can over dethatch and dethatch too often, but if you do it as recommended and as needed, it can benefit your yard by a lot. Now, how to stop having so much thatch in your yard, which you will have it. It's inevitable to have some. But there are a few things you can do to kind of make the thatch down, and maybe you don't have to dethatch so often. You can wait a year or more. Is you need to keep your leaves raked. Don't let them decompose on your yard. That builds thatch. And when you're mowing, you should bag. I don't know, this is kind of a touchy subject, but I say bag like once a month if you mow weekly. If you mow bi-weekly, maybe once every 2 months, just to get some of that thatch off and not always leaving so many clippings on your yard. With all that, the main thing you have to realize is if you're going to do this for yourself and you're just a homeowner, it is possible. It's very possible. Depending on the machinery or equipment you use, it can be very, very physical. And I've went to plenty of dethatchings where the husbands or wives or children have started and got really nowhere in it and just ended up hiring a company. So I would recommend to go ahead and just hire a company. Usually dethatching service doesn't cost too much. Kind of depends on a few things. When's the last time you had it dethatched? What your yard looks like at that point. What we do is we kind of have a smaller dethatching rake and kind of do a little spot and just kind of see how much thatch you do have underneath there. Because there is, say in this video, I'll insert some photos, but off of this one yard, I fill up an entire truck bed to the brim of just thatch, and the customers were, honestly, they're always wowed by it because they don't think that much is in their yard, but there definitely is, and you can go over it twice and you'll get up more, and like I said, it leaves thatch still, and you do want that. And the last and final thing you should be thinking about after having a dethatching done to your yard is what's next. So you can dethatch, aerate, overseed, and then fertilize. That way, with the dethatching, you have all the thatch off, good nutrients going into the soil. Aeration opens up the soil, decompacts it, again, lets a lot of that nutrients and everything you want in your yard to go into there. Seed it, obviously, get more new healthy grass in there. And then if you like to fertilize, throw fertilizer down. Obviously, you won't do this all in one day. But I hope that helped you guys out, kind of understanding what dethatching is, why you should do it, how often you should do it, and kind of what some of the benefits are. I obviously didn't go through every single benefit. There are a lot. And there's a reason for all these services, so there is a specific point where I would aerate over dethatching or dethatch over aerate. Or some yards don't really need either of them, and just keep doing whatever you're doing. Just keep fertilizing, keep overseeding. But 100% to me, dethatching is a very underrated service, and a lot of people aren't very knowledgeable on it and just don't get it for some reason. But that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was just a residential we did, and thanks for watching.